people are promoting things specifically to undermine relationships and really also promote some type of profit around undermining. That ain't nothing but a form of techno-capitalism designed to undermine the Black family, to undermine Black relationships. We have to unpack the trauma that we are dealing with. And we have to say, what are the benefits for marriage? Here's a very practical benefit and reference for those who are materialists who may be listening. It's a wonderful book called The Village Values by Robert Michael Franklin. He says, it makes sense for Black men to get married. And he said, let me tell you why. If a Black man is married, he will live longer. If a Black man is married, he will be healthier. If a Black man is married, it's less likely that he will have Alzheimer's. If a Black man is married, he will be wealthier.
What's good, family? Today, we're going to settle 2 conversations with 1 clean sweep. You guys saw the lead-in video, so let's talk about it. First, let's address the idea floating around that Black men don't want to get married. And second, people love to say, if a Black man just got married, he'd live longer, get richer, and avoid dementia. But what does the data actually say? According to Pew Research Center's 2023 data, 36% of Black men are married compared to just 29% of Black women. Let me break that down a little bit further. 5.9 million married Black men, 5.3 million married Black women. That's over 610,000 more married Black men than married Black women. So why is the community pushing the idea that Black men are running from marriage? Even when you look at the never married Black adults, the numbers are still nearly even. 8.1 million for never married Black men, as opposed to 8.6 million never married Black women. That's 510,000 more Black women who've never married, even though there's close to 2 million more Black women than there are Black men. But here's the kicker. Black men are also less likely to be divorced, separated, or widowed to the tune of 15% to 25% for Black women. That means 4.6 million Black women are divorced, separated, or widowed, compared to just 2.5 million Black men. So not only are Black men more likely to marry, but they're also less likely to leave. Let that sink in.
If a Black man is married, he will live longer. If a Black man is married, he will be healthier. If a Black man is married, it's less likely that he will have Alzheimer's.
You know, we have a lot of videos about what women should do to find a husband, but we really should be looking at what men should be doing to find a wife. Now, why? On average, when you aggregate the data, married men are happier, healthier, and wealthier.
We often hear from pastors, preachers, reverends, and panders that if more Black men would just marry, they'd live longer, lower stress levels, and become wealthy. Let's break that down point by point. Do married Black men live longer? Yes. Marriage is linked to longer life, especially for men, but the benefits is much smaller for Black men. A 2019 peer-reviewed study found that marriage boosts life expectancy for white men, but has little to no effect on Black men. Now let me address this question. Does marriage protect against Alzheimer's? Older studies claim that unmarried people had a 40% high risk of dementia. But a 2025 study flipped the script. After tracking 24,000 adults for 18 years, researchers found that unmarried people had lower dementia diagnosis than married people. Some say that's because married people get diagnosed sooner due to spousal concern, but there's no solid evidence that marriage protects Black men specifically. Now let's focus on money. Do married Black men build more wealth? Yes, but only to a point. Being married can help reduce poverty in Black households through dual income, shared rent, and financial support. But, and this is big, married Black families still have significantly less wealth than married white families due to the racial wealth gap. And also, when men tend to get married, they tend to work more hours. So that means they earn more money. Because why? They have a family to take care of. Make sense? So using a comparison between married Black men and non-married Black men, that's a false equivalency. So yes, marriage may help stabilize things, but it won't eliminate systemic inequality. So let's summarize. Number 1, Black men are more likely to be married than Black women. Number 2, they're less likely to be divorced as well. And no, Black men are not running from commitment, despite being blamed for the marriage decline in the Black community. And while marriage may help with the finances in general, Black men don't see the same benefits as others due to broader structural issues. So ask yourselves, Why is the community so laser focused on blaming black men for the marriage gap when the numbers point in the opposite direction? Why do we act like black men are avoiding responsibility when the truth is they're stepping into marriage more often and leaving less frequently? So if we're going to talk about marriage in the black community, let's talk with facts and not feelings. Stop blaming black men for a decline they aren't even leading. And also, let's start asking deeper questions. Why aren't more black women marrying? And why are their divorce rates so high? And how do we fix the real issues like economic insecurity and trust instead of playing the blame game? After everything we've just unpacked, the stats, the misconceptions, the cultural biases, I want to leave you with something constructive. Because while I always challenge the systems and narratives working against black men, I also believe in providing direction and not just critique. So here it is, man, and I want you guys to pay close attention to this. Marriage isn't for every man. But when done right, with the right woman at the right time, it can be one of the most strategic, powerful, and honorable moves a black man can make. In my opinion, this is why black men should consider marriage. Number 1, fatherhood stability and legacy building. Being in the home with their children builds legacy, discipline, and generational wealth. You get to raise your seed directly, not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally. Number 2, duty and honor. Marriage, when rooted in respect, is a form of manhood. It's about taking on responsibility, leading with intention, and standing on integrity, which means doing the right things when no one is looking. Number 3, love. Not the fairy tale kind, real love. The kind built through effort, commitment, and shared values. Love that's not just felt, but chosen every day. Because remember, you are living with your partner for the rest of your life. So even though love is important, make sure you like that woman as well. Number 4, economic and financial benefits. Let's be practical here. 2 incomes are better than 1. When done right, marriage allows for wealth building, home ownership, and long-term financial security. Number 5, lower stress and greater accountability. If the marriage is healthy, and that's a big if. A good woman will push you to be healthier, wiser, and more consistent. A stable home reduces chaos and increases your focus. Number 6, social respect, perception, and also influence. In certain communities, a married man is seen as more trustworthy and stable, but this only works when the woman respects the man that she's with. Otherwise, the public mask will crack. Number 7, emotional growth. Marriage exposes your weaknesses and forces you to grow emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. If you lean into the process, those weaknesses will now become strengths. Number 8, cultural leadership and community impact. When a black man leads his family, he becomes a pillar in his community. The marriage becomes bigger than you. It becomes an example. It's not about a ring, a wedding, or social validation. It's about choosing your spouse with purpose. It's about building something that stands long after you're gone. And lastly, marriage isn't the finish line. It's the foundation, but only when it's built with honor, leadership, and respect. If you don't have those 3 things in place, don't sign that contract. But if you do, then walk into it like a king. Not because the world told you to, but because you chose to lead on your own terms. And your wife will follow without question. I promise you. Peace.